When it comes to curbing gun violence, just what are city leaders up against? Tonight, the NBC Chicago investigative team has a story behind the statistics that points to how deep the problem really is. Our investigative reporter Chuck Goudie joining us in studio with what he has found out. Chuck.
Allison, there is a machine gun marketplace open for business in Chicago and the suburbs. It's so blatant and in your face that neighborhood arms dealers seem to feel untouchable, showing off their product lines on Facebook or Instagram. Sometimes law enforcement is catching these modern-day gun runners. Sometimes they get away with it. Automatic weapons fire on the streets of Chicago that police say used to be a rarity is now regularly seen and heard, with incidents often turning up here on social media. Chicago police data tracks almost 25,000 illegal guns taken off the streets the past 2 years, an average of 35 each day, an increasing number of machine guns or pistols modified for nonstop fire.
As a survivor of gun violence, I know that behind every statistic is a person, a family, and a community whose life has been forever changed. The trauma doesn't end when the headlines fade. It stays with us, and too often survivors are left to navigate that pain alone.
This man is an example of how illegal guns end up in the wrong hands. At age 18, Aiden Alejandro was already a convicted burglar. While on probation, police say Alejandro started a new career, selling illicit guns. 2 years ago, he was arrested for possession of a machine gun and armor-piercing ammo known as cop killers. The machine gun charge was dropped by Cook County prosecutors in exchange for Alejandro pleading guilty to having been a felon in possession of a firearm, and he was let off on court supervision. During the next year, investigators say Alejandro returned to the machine gun marketplace, showing off pistols with laser sights and offering automatic weapons to prospective buyers. This time drawing the attention of Chicago police assigned to a federal ATF gun task force. Last month, ATF says Alejandro arranged via coded messages back and forth here on his Facebook account to sell 3 firearms and a machine gun conversion kit. With the deal consummated, authorities say a hidden camera recorded Aiden Alejandro counting the cash proceeds of his several $1,000 transaction. But unbeknownst to him, the gun customers were working undercover for law enforcement, and Alejandro was arrested. He now faces another charge of possession and transfer of a machine gun. This time around, the 20-year-old Alejandro is behind bars. He's being held tonight without bond in the MCC Chicago, at least until a preliminary court hearing next Tuesday. If convicted of the machine gun charge in federal court, he faces up to 10 years in prison. If the gun's used in a crime, it's even more.
So you're saying off the top, sometimes they're caught, sometimes they aren't.
There are a lot of guns out there. In this case, he was, but there are a lot of guns on the streets that go used and not caught.
All right, Chuck Goudie, thanks so much.
Welcome.